Hey guys, we're setting up over here. This is just kind of a run through to see how everything works. Are watching. You can start this a little early to make sure we have a decent internet signal. We've got one here. We've got one here. We'll be shooting this, and of course you see the red line separates them. The Southeast Texas Practical Shooting Association's annual club championship match. And hopefully we have a decent enough. Hopefully you guys can catch us today and enjoy some of this. The 6 stages. I'm just going to go through these kind of preliminarily. If you look right here, this is our starting box. Jump in the box. And let's say you probably, I know they're going to walk us through these, but you must shoot these on the side, I'm assuming. Then it looks like you have a box over here that is going to engage. You have to jump on here, I'm sure, in order to shoot. That's probably your shoot box for here. You jump on there, it engages that swinger over there, and you go to town on those guys. So kind of an interesting, fun, practical shooting stage. Ought to be kind of cool. A little bit of movement on that one. Not so much body movement other than moving from left to right. On getting on that, make sure that I've got a good enough signal out here. We are in Orange, Texas. Checking in from Florida. Hey, Lawrence. Real quick so you guys can see. That is the safe area. The way this works, into this safe area right here, that's where you load your weapon. No weapons are allowed outside of a holster anywhere else other than at this safe table where I'm pointing at. Between your vehicle, and I'm sure there's some proper wording I'm supposed to use, but if you're caught with a weapon, you're not in the safe area, you are disqualified for the match. Safety is a priority at these USPSA IPSC matches. So again, you can see where I'm at. The only place I can take my pistol out of its bag and put it in my holster is right here. This is it. I will do that here in a second. As you can see, I have an empty holster here from Florida a minute ago. Hopefully you guys can hang out with us and watch all the shooting. Indeed, nothing like the smell of gunpowder in the morning. You guys could tell us where you're at. This is our club championship match, the Southeast Texas Practical Shooting Association's annual match. So there's prizes, trophies, and bragging rights up for grabs today. So, you know, I don't want to aggravate anybody. Talk a little low until we get rolling. You can see everybody kind of getting set up. Looks like we have a lot of shooters here today, a lot of shooters from all over the place. Typically, whenever we shoot here at the Southeast Texas Practical Shooting Association's club in Orange, Texas, we've got a pretty large contingent of people from Lake Charles, Louisiana, all the way over to Houston, Conroe area. And I suspect that with this being the club championship, we're going to have probably a more farther reach than that today. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know that I've seen some shooters out here that I've shot with before, some really talented guys. So I expect to see a lot of lead flying today and hitting some A zones. So it's going to be fun. Drop your FPS to stable the feed might help. Lawrence, we're at the lowest we can get right now, just so you know. Anybody out there that may be having some issues with the feed. Just looking at my phone, we're using the internet signal that our provider gives us. Sprint, unfortunately, is who I'm using. Not a big fan of Sprint, but that's who I've got. I've got 2 bars of LTE right now. So again, not the strongest signal. I've already got the quality down to low, and I don't think I can go any lower. Pretty sure I'm at the lowest that I can actually get. Cool thing about this program here, or what I'm using, as you guys can see, I can actually zoom in on different areas of the screen and move it around where you guys can see what I'm looking at. So hopefully when we get the action going, you guys will be able to see some pretty good action over there that I can kind of focus in on and really keep you in tune with it. As you can see, that's me to the far left over there. Hey. It's kind of with my iPad. That's what I'm directing all this from my iPad. So it's going to be pretty cool. You guys, please don't hesitate to comment. Let us know what you think. We're going to try to do more of this. We don't have any control over the signal, of course, unless they put a big tower right here at the Orange Gun Club. Other than that, this is going to be fun. Bear with us if this signal is not the greatest. We are going to do the best we can and hopefully bring you guys some fun shooting today. Like I said earlier, I know we have some great shooters out here, so it ought to be a lot of fun. Everybody's getting ready. I'm actually getting ready. Putting my belt on. I'm going to go ahead and go load my pistol up into my holster so that I can be ready to roll. I'm going to try to shoot a couple of stages today myself. Hopefully you guys can hang out with us and join us. What we're going to do is we're going to have these 2 stages over here. Where I'm set up at today, we've got 2 stages that we're going to be able to see. And the good news is I will try to man that camera for as long as I can and shoot a couple of stages while I can too. Let me go load my pistol up. Well, wait a second. As you can see, it's Maurice walking away from the safe area table. Somebody else is loading their pistol, getting it ready to go in their holster, and I'll wait till they clear out and I'll go grab mine too. The average cost to do these matches, it really depends. There's at least 4 different classes. I think there's more than that. I know there's the open class, limited class, production class. There's now the PCC, which is the pistol carbine class. And I'm sure I'm missing something, single stack. So yeah, 5 or 6 classes that I know of. I'm probably not the most proficient person in USPSA rules to know, but let's just say you choose the class that I'm in. I'll show you my pistol here in a second. I actually have STI DVC limited. Limited in production and even single stack probably are some of your easiest classes to get into because the guns aren't too crazy. Production being probably the easiest one to get into because you don't have a whole lot of modifications. In fact, you can't have a whole lot of modifications in order to compete in that class. But you probably can expect to have a pistol that's going to be competitive to spend anywhere between no less than $800 to $1,000. And of course you can spend upwards to $4,000 and $5,000 just for a pistol. Magazines are a little pricey, but magazines obviously are pretty critical to how you function when you're shooting. There's no room for error, and magazines are very, very critical. Let's see, Jay Brigg, good luck to everyone. Better luck to Louisiana crew out there today. Yeah, Louisiana boy myself right here. Pulling for everybody though. Of course, want to have a safe shoot, but man, back to the question of how much money it would take to get into this. You probably could do it and be semi-competitive, at least enough to where you're going to learn the ropes for, man, if I had to guess, $1,500 bucks. Obviously, it's like anything else. The more you get into it, the more your interest peaks a little bit. You're going to spend more money and get something nicer. There's always a better gun out there. I don't care what you've got. Somebody's always got something better. Performance is key. You know, a lot of times you hear people say, when you're in the normal world, carrying a pistol of some sort, that you know, the softness or crispness of a trigger is not an issue. Well, that's true. You know, for a self-defense pistol, you're not always looking for something like that with a hair trigger, or things do help whenever you are, you know, shooting self-defense. But out here competing, yeah, it gets competitive, man. You got to be good physically. You have to, you know, you got to be able to do some things. There's some lateral movement that takes place out here. Sometimes that lateral movement can, and that hasn't gotten into this, to try it. It's really a lot of fun. I know this is boring right now hearing me talk, but everybody's setting up. We all run a few minutes behind schedule, as most USPSA matches rarely start on time, the ones I've been to. But when the action starts, I think you'll be impressed, especially if you haven't seen any of this before and watched anyone shoot practical shooting. It's really a lot of fun. You guys are going to enjoy this. So stay tuned. I'm about to go holster my pistol where this gentleman is to the right of your screen. And I kind of put it like this so you guys can see what people are... That's all right. Yeah, again, I can't see the pistol. Looks like an open gun. I mean, I'm sorry, not an open gun, limited gun. So that's, yeah, that's a limited gun from what I can tell. So yeah, this is going to be cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me go holster my gun real quick.
I shot it yesterday. I ran out of the rain. It's definitely heavy. When I took that spring out, the old one was doing like, yeah, I had a new one, and it was wobbling, man, like a new one. The new one don't do that.
Oh, like you can do this?
Oh yeah, it was like an antenna.
I'm doing great so far.
And I changed it. I shot it yesterday. I took it apart out there at the range and checked it. I put a shot buff in there. I figured if it was bad, it's still going to brass decent, so I'm going to put, I really want to get it to right where it's about back off. I should put it right. And I got another that I shouldn't see today. I got 15 on the scene. I got 40.
I told him, I said, I was spending 5 years. He was pretty proud there for a minute. He said, yeah, you were fast.
I'm thinking about, I got to find
We were both up in the same town, and now we're 3 up.
Okay, guys, as you can see, things are starting to get a little more active here. I'm going to go ahead and spin the camera to where you guys can see the actual stages, as we're probably going to go ahead and set up here in a second. So let me turn our camera. I'm just going to let you kind of see everybody getting ready. As you can see, you've typically got a group of guys that are going to do walkthroughs. They're kind of sizing up the stage. You see, they basically do a dry walkthrough. Obviously, no pistol, but they are getting the stage, getting the plan down in their mind, what they need to do. That's what you see these guys doing, a nice walkthrough. A good shooter will do that. I'm not doing that, so I don't think I qualify as one of those good shooters. So I'm going to try to keep this stream going today. But it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I can't wait for the action to start for you guys to see it. For those of you that do shoot competitively, obviously you'll know everything that's going on and you'll appreciate this. Those of you that don't shoot competitively, this is fun. It's a lot of fun. You may want to consider it. Being a lifelong gun guy myself my whole life, I probably never thought I would get into this until I shot it my first time, and you just get hooked. A lot of fun shooting this. Again, guys, we are going to be streaming the Southeast Texas Practical Shooting Association Club Championship match today. If you're watching this right now, at 9:16 a.m. July 29th. You're watching it live, and we are hopefully going to be able to keep a decent stream today, internet stream, so that you guys can enjoy the action here today and watch all of our friends out here shoot competitively and compete for prizes, trophies, and bragging rights. Give me a lot of fun. See a lot of new shooters out here. I say new to me, guys I haven't seen before. So I know we've got some competition that is coming from other areas of people that I haven't met before, and that's great. I like seeing that. You know, it kind of brings a lot of these shooters together. The really good guys will come out of the woodwork to come over here to compete with other better shooters. Shooting with better shooters just makes you a better shooter. So that's what's kind of fun about this stuff, is you're more likely to get shooters that probably wouldn't normally shoot with you, but they're going to come check you out and work with you on stuff like this. And you learn a lot from these other shooters. You're not always going to have the luxury of shooting with some of these great shooters out here and picking up some of the tips that they do. There's stage planning. A lot of times these guys have better stage planning than a guy like myself. No matter how accurate of a shooter you are, there's a lot that goes into this sport, and stage planning is very important. How you shoot the stage itself. Most of these stages are set up as what they call shoot them as you see them. That just means that you have to hit every steel target, and you have to engage, unless you just want to get a lot of penalty points, you have to engage all of the paper targets. So that's what's kind of cool about this is, all the stages are timed, and that's pretty much the rules on here. So again, you can on our shoot them as you see them stage, which again is most of them, you can get pretty creative. And I've seen some guys get pretty creative. If you look out at some of those barriers out there, sometimes I've seen guys, whenever it benefits them, slide not under the barrier to go on them, because you can't go through there. If the field of shooting is around those barriers, you could squat down and shoot underneath one. If it doesn't break the 180 rule and it's within the field of play, you can shoot from there. So it does get kind of interesting watching how some of these guys plan these stages out, pretty much trying to find a loophole, trying to find a way that maybe somebody else, the stage planner, hasn't expected that loophole. Sometimes you'll see them, if you notice, there's some barrels out here. Those barrels are not just for show. A lot of times those barrels are set up to kind of take the loopholes out of play, so that a guy can't make an easy shot by stage planning it in a different way that allows him to shoot in an area that wasn't designed necessarily to be shot that way. They'll put barrels up to block that shot, so you cannot make that shot. And naturally, you cannot shoot through a barrel. So, yeah, this is cool. I mean, you're going to see a lot of cool stuff today. I see a bunch of shooters out here. A lot of competition. The cool thing about practical shooting, and the reason why I got into it, I'm in my late 40s. If you have any competitiveness in your body, you want to remain competitive. Well, as you get older, a guy like myself, look, I just can't, as bad as my knees and my ankles and my hip is, I'm just not one that can go out there and shoot basketball or even go play softball, whatever. I'll blow a knee out in a heartbeat, which I guess you could do it here too. But this combines a little bit of marksmanship along with being somewhat stealthy, a little bit of mental, because you have to plan things out and stuff like that. So you can still remain competitive in this and have some fun and know that you don't have to kill yourself physically. Here we go. I think we're gonna get it rolling here.
Coming out, we have a good shoot. There is a chance of rain, but hopefully we get it in before the rain starts. Rain safety guys, y'all let the ROs finish the score or finish running the shooter, declaring the stage safe before y'all head down there. That's some videos where I've seen it happen now. People starting to face. I'm glad everybody's helping, but let them go ahead and clear that range first. I want to be safe. Besides that, after we finish our shooting, we need to go ahead and tear down all the stages. After we tear down the stages, then we go over, we'll do our eating, and then we'll hand out our awards and give out our prizes. And we have to vote on some new members and all. Anybody want to be president?
James. I nominate James. Second it. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Anybody got anything else that they want to bring up?
Got more work than any.
We got water A couple coolers throughout the stages. If you don't have water, drink plenty of water. It's going to be hot out here, guys. 47 shooters, so we'll break it up into 4 stages, or 4 groups, I think. So we'll do that, and our stage 1's down here. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on down there. On this one here, that is 2 stages too, by the way, just let y'all know. What else we need to go over, guys? Help me out here.
Start position for PCC. Stock, touch, and hip. Starting position. Starting position for PCC.
Starting position for PCC is stock and hip. Standard position. Anything else? Same thing. Just no mag. I think all of our starting positions are down range, no up range start, so that's good. Watch y'all's 180 guys. Let's do 1 through 12 on this first stage. And then we'll do, 13 through 24 here. And then we'll do 25 through, 36 over there. And then 37 through 47 on the end. That sound good? We will have a few people shooting through. If they come through, just work them into the order. They probably want to look over the stage real quick and let them shoot through. There'll only be about 4 or 5 people doing that, guys.
James, the last stage 6 is an unloaded start.
That's right. Unloaded start on that one. I think this one's an unloaded start, and I believe that's it, right?
Okay, so that means 2 and 6 are unloaded starts.
When you on this stage here, when you load, you need to be in a box to load, or you load on the way up.
You don't need to be
Just got to be facing, safe direction.
Hey, you bud.
When are you going to chrono? Before the stage or after?
Chrono, we chrono after the stage now. We're chrono everybody on here. They're going to big match, guys. They're going to chrono y'all. So we want to run a chrono and see where everybody stands. Some people don't know where they stand now, so it's a great time to do it now. Some people know where they stand and they're trying to get over a little bit. Yeah, man.
You know how many rounds the whole match is?
You what?
How many rounds is the whole match?
No, it's probably about, I probably want to say it's probably around 120 rounds or so. We're going to have Paul Glasgow. He's going to be live streaming, guys, so please watch y'all's language.
It'll be and it's on this stage, so the camera's set up over there. I'm going to try to man the cameras where I can catch both of these stages when everybody's shooting. So if you know anybody at home that obviously couldn't make it and you want them to watch, just tell them to search Legally Armed America on YouTube, and this will be running live throughout the course of the day today, the whole time. Legally Armed America.
Legally Armed America.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, we got intro to USPSA class coming up the 19th. If you know anybody that's wanting to get into it, here's a good start. Instead of coming out and learning how to shoot, we can give them a little basic instruction. It's free. There's no real charge on it. We're looking to kind of keep it down to 12 people in this first one, but we'll probably have more. But we just want to go over the basic rules, some gun safety, things like that.
Did Rico also? Did Daryl?
I told him already.
You got one? Okay.
Him and his son.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that's it, guys. Let's go shoot.
Okay. Also, when I show up, I want to be able to shoot through. I got that.
Yeah, we got enough.
That's what we worried about.
Sorry.
You said Legally Armed America?
Yes.
On YouTube. Live stream will be running?
Yeah, if they search and just go to the main page of the channel, it'll pop right up there.
You should be able to watch it afterward, right?
Yes, that's right. I'm going to try to break it up if I can by stages, so that if you shoot with a certain group, you can go back to them.
I've got 2 timers up here.
So we're going to go to. How many squad? 4. That's what I thought. About 9 per squad. Yeah.
Okay, I had somebody request earlier that I set this camera up where you can see the stages a little better. Yes, absolutely. We just had that set up so that you could see the groups as they were getting ready. Let me pan this over a little bit and try to get it to where you guys can see Okay, that is going to be the stage right there. As you can see, we've got 2 stages here. I'm standing right here. I am trying to use my body to separate them. We've got the 1 stage over here. As you can see, we've got a red line that's right behind me. Where this red line is, that's going to separate the stages. So this is all the first stage that we're going to be shooting in this particular lane. This over here, from the red line over, that's going to be your second stage. So my guess is we will be shooting this one on the left first. And I'm going to try to keep track of some of the shooters here today, some of the better times that we have, so you guys can see what some of the more competitive stages are going to be on some of these, or some of the more competitive rounds are going to be on some of these stages. I'm trying to stay safe too, guys, so let me try to keep out of everybody's way as best I can. That was the signal so far.
No tape, but we got a town, no tape.
Randy, you're live streaming. Wave.
I know we have a slow internet signal out here, guys, but that is the best we've got. Okay, guys, see everyone doing their walkthrough right now.
Tape is on the table over here to help take the targets after the shooting.
I'm going to do my best today to try to keep up with the action here if I can, and see if I can't listen to and hear everything going on at the same time. I'm going to try to keep track of some times on these stages so that you can kind of see how competitive these guys are, some of the better times that we've got out here. Again, we have a lot of good shooters out here today, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Again, this is the Orange Gun Club in Orange, Texas. This is the Southeast Texas Practical Shooting Association's annual club championship. If you are a USPSA member, you are eligible to shoot. So we've got guys from all over the place. I see a lot of our own shooters from this club here, and that's cool, but there's a lot of guys from other clubs too that joined and showed up to shoot with us. Should be a lot of fun. You're going to see some pretty fast times today. This is an interesting first stage right here too. This first stage has some blind spots in it. I'm just looking. I may have to go back and check it out again. I don't see any steel, but it could be hidden from some of the paper. It looks like all paper on this stage. Yeah, just looking at it from your point of view, that's all I see. Yeah, Lawrence, the use of baby strollers is funny. I know we all treat our guns like they are our babies. Yeah, the baby strollers, a lot of times you'll see that from folks that are shooting 3-gun. Cowboy action pistol and PCC in terms of the USPSA shooting. That's mainly because obviously it's a little bit more efficient setup and easy to maneuver, and it's somewhat of a tight quarters as say opposed to a wagon or something like that. Usually those guys are carrying a whole lot of gear, especially if they're 3-gun or cowboy action. You usually have 3 different guns that you're carrying around with you, not to mention all the ammo and appropriate gear that goes with that. But yeah, we do treat our guns in some cases better than our babies. It is kind of fun.
I guess I have to show you. As I'll call them out. As I call them out, if it's like 1 for 8, if I say 8.
It's like we're about to get. When these guys are moving, I'm going to try to keep up with it as best I can. This box is going to be right in here, so this is going to be relatively easy for me to keep up with the shooter. But I will allow it to be a little bit wider screen some also, so that we can get this view here where you can see the actual targets that they're shooting at. So I'll kind of rotate between that. I'll rely on a little bit of feedback from you guys to tell me if one view is better than the other guys. If the zooming in. This is a new class in USPSA this year. Interesting platform. The reason why it's PCC. So it's an interesting class. What I like about it, my firearm in the event that I needed it in a self-defense situation. And this allows me really to compete in a high situation. And the cool thing about the pistol carbine class is that you can do that as well with your AR. And not many of us are in a real life situation where we are to a real life situation in having somewhat a little bit of a stress or some stress injected into your use of an AR-15. So this is in normal circumstances. It's not like you can go practice with your AR-15 around your house. But this gives you the chance to get proficient with it. And Cs are designed on a AR-15 platform. And again, guys, we'll be working with the panning of the camera today. Just be patient with me at first as I get used to the timing of this moving left to right. I'm not going to be super smooth at first, but I'll try to get the hang of it. You're going to see a lot of cool weapons out here today. And let me get a little closer, if I can frame this out here. I can just get the stage in there. I pan on this stage so that it looks a little better. Hopefully that's going to make it a little bit easier right there, where we can kind of zoom in on just the stage and not have all of the stuff to the far right hand side. Excuse me, guys, if you're watching this and you see that our signal is not the strongest, it's because our signal is not the strongest. We're out here, we're at the mercy of the device that we're streaming from, not to bash Sprint, even though I don't care for Sprint. That's who we have today, that's who we're using. So not the, probably not the greatest company in what I think out here as far as streaming. They're not real reliable. I've just never been a big fan of Sprints. Again, I'm all over the place. I'm actually testing with some panning right now while we're in between shooters, so be patient with me. Just trying to find a way that we can frame these stages to where you guys can see a little bit better at home and wherever you're watching this from. We've got another pistol carbine shooter here. Again, he's on an AR-15 platform. I can't see his magazines yet, but it looks like he's probably also shooting 9mm. He's got a red dot on top. Can't really tell what he's got. It looks like his rifle is a custom-built one. I can't really see any signs of the manufacturer on there. Nothing looks stock or standard for that matter. I'll do my best to follow this guy. See there, maybe you have to load the stage in the box. Alright, I'm going to run down here now. Definitely 9mm. The thing about these PCC shooters with these rifles is they're going to typically have better scores as far as accuracy. Obviously, shooting with a long gun is a little bit more accurate, more proficient shooting at your targets. It may take you a little bit easily, for the most part. And like this guy did. He's definitely spot on. Again, guys, you know, that's a great question. I don't know. I'm writing this down, so excuse me. I know that with the PCC class, it's a brand new class, and the USPSA organization normally use, it was only pistols and handgun. So I suspect there's going to be some, excuse me, get around the rules, but that's kind of what they're doing. They're finding ways to, if I had to guess, because there are some things that are actually included or allowed right now in the PCC class that I've been surprised at before. So my guess is I bet you they are. You know, it's like anything else. I guess 9mm, you're able to control that recoil a little better. Not a lot of muzzle rise, but still, shooting anything that's close to full auto is usually not as accurate. I know with practice you get better at it, but it's still not going to be as accurate as shooting, you know, taking each shot individually. This gentleman here has an open gun. If you notice the red dot and some of the other kickstand and all kind of good stuff that he's got on it, these guns are really nice. And that sounds like 38 Super. A little bit of hiccup. You guys couldn't see that. It looked like he had a bit of a hiccup, maybe a misfeed. Not sure if he's using reloaded ammo or factory. Looked like he had a feed issue real quick that he had to clear, but he got it. You know, that's one of the things that I also like about shooting USPSA is you have the opportunity to clear malfunctions with your weapon that you probably wouldn't experience in a real-world situation. So it's really cool to have the ability to do things like that and know that, you know, hey, if you got to clear something, you've done it before in a somewhat higher stress situation, so you can pull it off if the need ever arises in a self-defense or a home defense situation. You know you've got at least a little bit of built-in muscle memory. Not always a bad thing to have rounds hang up. Probably not. You don't want it here at a club championship, but again, it's going to give you that experience in clearing that round because it's hard to simulate a bad feed. It's really tough to do that in practice. It's almost like you just got to wait till it comes along and clear it and just remember what you did to clear that. So yeah, that's definitely a learning experience from him. I'm sure whoever that shooter is, it probably won't happen again to him. If it's an ammo issue, he's probably going to rectify that. If it's a firearm issue, again, he'll probably address that as well. So you probably won't see the same guy with misfeeds 2 matches in a row, because usually they'll tend to those. Let's see what we got here. I've missed the guy. Looks like we got another pistol here. And let me see if I... Okay. Looks like he is shooting limited, maybe? Judging by the mag roll. And as you can see, you've got your range officers here that are helping and trying to keep the range safe, studious, say, as far as making sure that the range stays safe. If you notice, the fellow competitors don't go out until the range officer clears the range as being safe. And at that point, everyone goes out, and you see it's pretty much a team effort. Other than me sitting over here, everybody else is setting the stage back up. You see your shooter right here in the center of the picture. He is, I'm assuming, going to be our next shooter to go shoot the round next. So you see he's kind of taking it all in, looking at it. He's probably counting his shots, trying to see where he needs to reload at. Looking at the targets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, you have to make at least one reload if you're shooting limited. If you're shooting single stack in production, you're definitely going to have to make some reloads. So that's one thing these guys do as far as your stage planning. A lot of times stage planning isn't just seeing where you're going to shoot first and the order that you're going to shoot these targets in. I would have to say, at least in my case, anytime I do stage planning, more of my thought goes into counting where I need to make that reload at. In this case, you don't have any steel, so you can probably count and be pretty accurate and know that, say, after your 8th shot or after that 4th target, maybe you make a reload. Whether you're out or not, you make that reload so that you can finish out the stage with a full magazine. Here we go. Reload. Nice consistent shooting right there. You see where he planned his reload earlier. Guys, again, this video is, even though we are streaming live now, you are going to have the opportunity to go back and watch it later on, because it will be sitting out there on YouTube for all to see. So definitely check it out if you guys get a chance to later on. Interesting stage here. What we'll do is we'll be moving to this stage to the right here in a second. Again, we're shooting this stage right now, and we'll be taking this and just kind of moving over to our right here shortly, and that's going to be the next stage. This same group of guys will move over there, so it will be a pretty cool setup. I am going to try to get that answer for the viewer here that asked if echo triggers were allowed. Echo triggers, that's actually some buddies of ours, Fostech up in Indiana. Great guys, great trigger. We actually have a video out there on our channel here on Legally Armed America where we reviewed the echo trigger. Really, really fun trigger. Definitely an ammo eater, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You know, there could be some practical nature with it too. I mean, I could see the thing, if you're proficient with it and get used to it, it's not just a toy. I mean, you could find a practical application with it. I don't know, though, that if you're going to have that, again, if it's going to be allowed here in the PCC class, but it's very possible. Long mags, I mean, I don't know if there even is a limit on mags, so I guess you could have a 50 round magazine. But that being said, you may want to conserve ammo, so if you're on a steel target, you have to remember that if you're shooting a binary or an echo trigger, that one trigger pull, you have to hold that trigger pull till you move to your next target if you're shooting steel. Uh-oh, a little bit of an issue there. Not sure what that was. Oh yeah, he's not going to be happy with this. All right, guys, thanks again for everyone that's joining us. We are Legally Armed America. We are live streaming from the Southeast Texas Practical Shooting Association's annual club championship match here in Orange, Texas. Again, you see these guys are all taking part in resetting the stage for the next shooter.
Robert! All right. No pressure, Robert. You just gotta make the juices drink good milk. Daryl O's our next shooter.
Okay, the next shooter's up. Nice smooth reloads. Again, guys, I've got this right now. It's on autopilot. What this means is it will be panning. Just want to see how this works. It will be panning in between shooters. It's supposed to recognize faces and pan to them. Let's see how that works. Just trying to iron some bugs out to get used to this. The first time we've used this Mevo camera in a live stream for USPSA, and action shooting or any kind of action sport is a little bit different than filming just standard static shooting. I don't know why this thing continues to go there, but it does. So let's see if we can make this thing work the way it's supposed to. I don't know why that little blue box pops up there, so I will make this thing stop. Take the find faces off. It appears you have to double tap your targets. So 8 targets equals 16 shots. You're exactly right. I can't see from where I'm sitting. You probably have a better, well, now I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's more than that. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 targets on this stage that I can see from here. So yeah, that's going to be 28 shots. Yes, you engage each target twice. The cool thing about USPS, so if you feel like you've made a shot that's been an errant shot, and we do have another PCC shooter coming up next, but if you feel like you made a bad shot and you want an A-zone shot, let's say you shot, an A is the most points you can make on a target. So let's say you shot, your first shot hit an A, and say you're finishing the match up, and it's not going to cost you a ton of time. Take that extra shot. We're going to drop his mag, get something out of there, grab a fresh mag, put it in there, and meanwhile the clock is ticking. You're not getting a chance for a do-over. His shots are on though. Looking at his shots, I see at least the beginning of the stage, he's got some good A shots out there. So very accurate. Malfunction there because some of his later shots aren't quite as accurate as early shots. And believe me, there's no no doubt. I've seen guys come out there with the best plan in the world and then just, go to pieces whenever their equipment malfunctions. That's another reason we're trying to maneuver, left, right, shoot a little further down range, shooting up close. There's a number of things you got to be pretty good at, and obviously you can never just assume that your equipment is always going to function at 100%, because that's any one of these guys out here is going to tell you that is not the case. You're always going to deal with a malfunction. Shooting with every single week up to that, luckily somebody else had one out here that I was able to change out so I could continue shooting that day. So yeah, things happen, man, when you least expect it. Somebody's gun is going to malfunction today that's never malfunctioned before, always at the worst possible time. So yeah, it happens, man. Okay, it looks like we've got a left-handed shooter here. And he's definitely shooting a pistol. I just can't see what he's shooting. What we're probably going to do, guys, too, is I'm going to move this camera whenever this group of guys is done. I just want you guys at home to be able to see a little bit better angle. Again, a lot of what we're doing here today is testing, but obviously live testing. We're trying to find the best way to utilize this technology to bring you guys some live streaming at some of these events. We'll iron it out and give you guys a better seat here in a little bit. Where we're located at right now, I'm just not real happy with the angle. I don't feel like you guys at home are getting a good indicator of what we're seeing over here. So when we move to this stage over here to the right, when we get to this stage over here, I'm going to be able to give you guys a little bit better picture of what we're looking at. So I will move the camera when we get to that point. Again, guys, what you're watching, if you're watching it at this very moment, at 10 o'clock or whatever, you're welcome to. I know the feed is not the fastest, but we don't have the greatest internet signal out here either. I'm showing a Sprint LTE of 2 bars out of 5. Yeah, out of 5 bars, I've got 2 on LTE. So I know the signal's not that great. We've dumbed it down some. It's not an HD signal. It's just going to be a standard definition signal.
Everybody shut?
We're moving down now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this camera, I'm going to move this camera where everybody can see a little bit better. So if you're watching this, let me know if you feel like this is a better camera angle over here. Let's see here. I'm going to try to get somewhat behind the shooter here, where you can see more of this stage.
Why?
Yeah, it is.
Let's take off already. Who started first? Put them on the bottom and go.
Then you got to sit there and
Okay, guys.
line them all out.
We should be able to get majority of it here. Let's try this.
There's several places you can order from. Google CRT, but I think it's the World Shoot Model is what I ordered. I think they're around $150. World Shoot Model? WSM is actually what they...
I've got this one's pretty new, but it's a 3 gun. Three gun?
Yeah.
It's got a rail on it. I'm having a hard time. They don't fit it in the coaster very good.
Is that a blade tech?
Yeah.
It don't fit.
But it don't. I can't move around very fast. That's a rubber band on it.
Just because it may fall out.
Well, if I was to lean over real hard,
All right, here we go.
fall forward.
This one has a lock on it. Yeah.
As you can see here, I'm going to try to see if I can show you right back in here. there is some steel in there. Right behind, to the left of that barrel that you see, that black barrel, hot paper on this. A lot of it. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12. It's reactive. And I'm blind as a baseball bat, so it's easier for me to shoot steel because I know I'm hitting it. If I'm shooting at these paper targets, sometimes I may not even know that I missed the paper target. And I just can't see my holes in my target as I get a little further down range. So it's easier for me when I'm shooting steel because of that reactionary target. The problem is, it's a much smaller target. You can get away with a bad shot on paper and just clip the edge of it and be out on the outside edge in your D zone. That's still going to get you some points. It's not a miss or a mite that's called out here. So with steel, you've got to make a little bit. I mean, you've got to make a smaller shot. It's a tighter shot. Pretty much looking at the size of the paper target, but it's actually it's a lot narrower from a height standpoint than the A zone. So it's a tight shot. Here we go. Here's our first shooter. And we're going to get rolling here. Looks like we've got an open gun here. Looks like we might be shooting the same order that we shot.
Range is saved. 2582.
2582 was his time. If you're watching this, let me know if this angle is a little bit better in terms of being able to see the stage better and seeing the shooter move around. I can change camera angles a little bit if I need to. I just have to wait and do it in between the shooters. Cool little course here, a lot of movement. I like that. And some of the stages are just more fun whenever they've got some movement, and it's not just a standard stage. It just a stage that is just a static stage. Interesting, because you can do, you got some physical ability that's involved in there also. So it makes a difference as far as how competitive you can be on one of these stages that's not just a standard static stage where you're just shooting left or right with no movement. This ought to be a fun one. A lot of physical movement. As you see, the shooter goes, you see the gentleman in the purple shirt right behind him, as you see that whenever they load and make ready and they take off, they pretty much, you've got a lane right down the middle where you shoot. You have to go down that lane because there are some targets right behind those two blue barrels that are about waist height. There's some targets leaning downward behind those two blue barrels that are about waist height. So you have to run up there in order to shoot them. You cannot shoot them from anywhere else. So that's why they run down the middle. You may be thinking, why don't they shoot those targets from further back? Well, if you could see these, you cannot shoot those from there. Sorry about that. He's shooting these targets down low now. Again, you can't see them. I'll move the camera so you can see better next time. He's tacking his steel down now. Had trouble with that last piece of steel. There he comes around. A little movement there. All right, he's mad at himself for that last steel. Other than that, he had a pretty good round. Let me move that camera now, guys. I'm gonna get us a little bit better view. I want you to be able to see this stage a little better. That's not the greatest view right there. Let's see here if we can move where you can see it better. I want you to be able to see the steel that we have over here. Okay, guys, I think this is going to be a lot better. Let me get you a lot closer to the action here, guys. This ought to be fun. And set you guys up to where this shooter will be coming right at you.
All right, I'm on deck. I need somebody to take over the timer for a time or two.
I don't know how.
I'm coming.
Okay, I think you guys can see this a whole lot better now. And we're out of everybody's way. Again, this will be a fun stage right here. So, if my math is right, this is stage maybe 3. Stage 3, I believe. We'll do that on the other stage too. When the next group of guys come through to shoot, we will move these targets. I'm sorry, we're not going to move the targets. We will move this camera so that you can get a better view. Really want you to get more in the driver's seat where you can see exactly what these guys are seeing. It makes it a lot more fun when you can really take it in and get a little bit more first person on there. I know it's not like a GoPro or anything like that, but I mean where we're set up right now, we are actually in the shooter's 180. And that's kind of, well not kind of, that's the danger zone. As a person, you can't stand there. So we are in an area right here. Here we go, another pistol carbine class guy, and let's get rolling on this one. I'll pan this as best I can. See, shoot down low. That's those low targets I was telling you about, sitting right behind that blue barrel. Okay, now our shooter's going to come around right at our camera. See a really nice shot right there. You see his shots right in front of us there, if you can see these. He's just making clear there. Look right here. You'll see what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see these targets, but the white is a no-shoot. No-shoot, you do not want to shoot. As you see somebody has right now, I see one bullet hole through it. You're going to get penalized for that. But as you see, if you can see his holes, there's 2 holes on the target to the left of that white target, and 2 holes on the tan target to the right of that white target. Those are A-zone shots. I'm not sure if you can see the perforations in the cardboard, but that right there is those are good shots, really good shots. You see where they're going to tape these now, and they'll cover up those holes that he just shot so that the next shooter can come in and shoot his. See that your A shots are gone. But nice shooting by that. If you guys have any questions while we're doing this, I'm happy to answer those. So just let me know if there's anything we can help you guys with. Again, guys, we are at the Southeast Texas Practical Shooters Annual Club Championship match in Orange, Texas. Prizes, a lot of good shooters out here. There are going to be, in my opinion, some of the better shooters that I've seen in a while come compete today, and that's always fun to watch. Again, you get better when you shoot with good shooters. So, although I'm not sure if I'm going to get to shoot at this point because we're live streaming this, I hope to. And when I do, I'm seeing some things that some of these guys are doing that's going to be really helpful to me. So you learn a lot from here. You know, this. Okay, our next shooter. Again, guys, we will lose our signal occasionally because it's not a great signal. And putting these, and these videos will also be available later on. Guys, I apologize. We really have a bad signal out here. Really bad signal. So if the image quality is not that great, video quality and all that good stuff, apologies ahead of time. It's the best we can do, guys. One thing I guess you're giving up whenever you are fortunate, crappy signal whenever you try to go out and do something like this. And I apologize for that. We'd like to be able to... Yeah, it looks like he's shooting a limited block.
Those two right there by the broken light, forgot to shoot them. Danny was giving me the he said, hurry up. What? But anyway, I don't have a stoppage over here.
Posting on our maybe share it with your guys. It looks like I'm sitting here telling people to comment on YouTube, and I don't think you can. You just had to tell us that you can't comment on YouTube for some reason. Not sure why that is, but I apologize for that, because usually you can interact with us on that. And we're about to get rolling here.
Just go so smooth in your mind.
Get rolling here. Another pistol carbine clash up. And again, he had some feed issues a little bit. There we go. That all day, it's going to really aggravate him. It's going to affect his performance at some point. Seems there's some tension at the beginning of the magazine. Maybe load of around the 2 left in there. Another thing. So some bad ammo at the front part. Again, that second magazine was flawless. No issues with it whatsoever. So hopefully he can get that fixed, because like I said, it's going to be a long day for him. He's going to stay aggravated. And at some showing up here at the stage. They finish their stages. Look like. All right. The chat to load. Yeah, the signal out here is so bad that we're actually having to upload at low quality. All right. The shooter is clear at this stage. Couldn't tell if it was a feed issue, but when he was down by the 2 barrels side by side in the middle. Other than that, from what I could see on this end, he had 2 A-zone shots on each target, and sometimes that can be a little bit tricky because you have that no-shoot right there, and that no-shoot can play some mental games with you sometimes and make you want to really still steer clear of it, and sometimes you'll 10 or 12 feet away from that, so it's not a hard shot. Again, mentally, sometimes you talk yourself out of making a good shot just because that no-shoot intimidates you a little bit because you're so afraid to shoot it, because you get penalty points whenever you do shoot it. Stage is ready for the next shooter. Yeah, and again, guys, I want to apologize for the really bad signal out here today. It's really bad. This is a rough signal. Your live stream is only as good as the signal that you're using to send it up. Our shooter is getting ready. I can't really tell what he's got from this angle. It looks like he's got a production pistol. Let's see if he's going to come around this side too. Yep, here he comes. Yeah, looks like a production gun. All right, guys. I think our signal is just so poor right now. Boost real quick. Any issues we have out there? Guys, I apologize for the signal. Very bad signal out here if you keep having to rejoin us. Again, we have kind of a here today, guys. It's pretty pathetic. Out kind of in the boonies. Our next shooter's about up. Now he'll run down the center here. Nice shooting on that steel. Got all 3 shots of steel with the first shot on each one. Good shooter right here. Accurate shooter. 2 A-zone shots up close here. Nailed the targets, the steel targets. If I had to guess, 25 yards away that steel was. Great shots on target. Nice shooting right there. That's where, you know, you can be fast and have very accurate shots. So the young guys can compete with the old guys. It's a balance in what you're willing to give up. As you get older, you're going to lose speed, but some of these guys are going to gain a little bit of accuracy because they're not moving so fast. So in many cases, it's kind of a trade-off. Some of these guys are smart enough to figure out how fast they can go to be not quite so accurate and still maintain a very competitive score because they're willing to give up a couple of accuracy points for the time that point is where you gain enough efficiency to where you can give up a little bit of accuracy and still be able to compete at that top level. That's where you want to be. Now, obviously, in a perfect world, you want to be as fast as everybody and as accurate as everybody, then you beat everybody, right? Shooters, I believe. And then we'll have a fresh new group of guys coming in here to shoot. Oh, this is a new group. This is BJ. This is the PCC shooter right here. BJ, very good shooter. He knows how to work that PCC. Very good shooter right here, guys. Fast and accurate. Yeah, he torched that one. I don't know what his time was, but he torched it. Good shooting right there. See his close targets over here. He's moving pretty fast. Looks like he might be on the perforation. Still get an A-zone shot on that left target. This target right here to the left. Looks like he might be right on the perforation of that. If you hit the perforation on it between the A-zone target, A-zone, and let's see what he caught. So he had an A-zone shot and he had a C-zone shot. The other target on the right, he had 2 alphas. So fine from his time, you know. So he's going to be so fast that that little C-zone shot that he got right there, he made up for that thing greatly in time everywhere else. So he's determined that he's willing to give up an A-zone shot occasionally for a C-zone shot, knowing that the amount of seconds that he's saving on the stage is going to way surpass that and get him a much better shot. Rather than moving slowly and taking his time and hitting every single A-zone shot. So yeah, he's a perfect example of that. And BJ's a really good shooter, pistol-wise and pistol carbine class. Very competitive shooter right there. Always fun to watch him shoot.
Y'all done? All right. Pat, let him call the order. Pat Wrigley, you are the shooter. Wayne Guidry on deck. James Monty's in the hole. Paul Payne's is in the deep hole.
I don't even see Brinkley. Hey, Pat! Sorry.
Starting on the X's 30 right.
So that we can get,
They're going to have to hold it.
move this to where you guys can see a little better. Okay. I think we'll be able to see this entire, yeah, this whole stage is covered good. Fresh new group of shooters here, guys. This is some guys here that have stages, and we'll try to walk you through some of those stages later on so you can see those. But yeah, new group of shooters here. Always good to see a new group of shooters because, again, you learn something from all these guys.
Did he leave?
Again, when you watch these shooters size these stages up, it's a lot of fun because each guy's got his own technique and how he wants to run things. Looks like either a production gun this gentleman has or
Shooter. James Monty's in the hole. James Monty's.
production or limited. Can't really tell.
Paul Payne. All right, eyes and ears.
Again, guys, I want to stress how we go about pushing safety. He oversees everything, making sure that everyone is safe, everyone behind the line is safe, no one safety is of utmost importance. This is Wayne Guidry shooting here. Okay. Loaded, the hammer is down, no magazine in it, and the gun is holstered, and then he clears the range so that everybody can reset it.
Alpha, Charlie. Two Alpha. Oh, sword, patient.
And for a day where we had a chance of rain, the sun is, and I don't think we've got, yeah, the chance of rain is gone. Yeah, so that's definitely where these guys that have the pistol carbine class, the PCC guns, definitely have a little bit of an advantage because they don't have to reload. You see, they're able to put a lot of rounds in there. And you notice they put the chamber flag in there. And because this gun is not technically holstered on your body like the pistols are, they make you put a chamber flag in there. I like that, so that you can just visually look at the gun. So again, kind of cool. They thought of everything, almost everything, I should say, in terms of safety. Safety is just such a high priority at these USPSA matches.
Oh, shooter.
Next shooter is up. One last look at the stage before he shoots. Kind of size and everything. Clear shot. All right, I see some Strike Industries stuff on there. See his red hand stop. Not sure if you can see his gun. Got a red hand stop on there. It's a Strike Industries hand stop. Good looking, but also fun. And you're looking for a power factor issue there too. So what his shots are. See some A-zone shots. So his speed was pretty good. So my guess is he's going to have a pretty competitive score on this particular stage. Thank you again, guys, for everyone that's joined. Central Time, you are watching this live. And several of these videos on our main website as well at legallyarmedamerica.com. So the shooters that are actually, some of them, others will be excited too. Typically, there's probably going to be some body malfunctions. All right, guys. Signal a couple of times. It's a shitty signal out there.
Well, this is, it's a long way.
Yeah. That was our range treasurer and owner of Gator Guns, Richard Prasuti. Shooter. No recall. None of it looks like. Yeah, he's it's nice to see those when those things run like that. You get a good hour and a half live stream last night, and everything went great, dude. You're obviously not sending the quality signal up to you guys, so that's why you're dealing with the signal. It's probably all right. Getting the stage ready. Looks like it's about ready. We've got Wayne over here taking. It's a SIG P320 that was created. Carry Optics, I think, is the class. No, that's not a SIG. What is that? I can hear and see it fine. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate the feedback because it definitely helped. Shooting.
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you.
He is a big supporter of our show, Legally Armed America. And Richard is a great shooter, A-class shooter. Very cool with it. Not even a pop. It's more. It's like some good shooting. Gap that you plan your reload from one group. That's not much room, right? You know, I think Richard dropped his mag and took one or two steps slow. So yeah, this one's a little bit different. A lot of close to one another, and your movement was so close in between targets that there's no well on that stage as far as placing amongst everybody else. All right, there we go.
What number were you? 41.
Yep. Good round there. Yeah. Have this
subscribers.
Okay, thank you.
I know, I love it. Oh yeah.
Get the guys also.
And then you're talking. That is so cool. do you go, are you just doing this squat or are you staying here?
Just these top.
That's it.
Maybe the next one does too, but this one was just easier for me to set.
It's hot. Or too much?
It's lost the feed a couple of times, so I have to man it to make sure it goes. Thank you. Thank you. You guys leave here.
Guy in the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the guy and the police officer.
Sure. Yeah. All right, guys. Our next shooter is up.
They don't hear us.
Area optic. Shooter. Looks like he had a pretty good run, along with the PCC class and what they do. Can't really tell what area optics on it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Bit that optic on top. The dot goes on the target. You pull the trigger and a little bit quicker, but you still have to get used to it. And obviously, you still have. It's not like a remote control that you know. He's got to run through.
He's going to have to circle around if he did.
STI DVC single stack, it looks like. That's a limber, yeah, he executed that one well. Executed that one really well. Let's see what his scores are. I didn't catch his time there, but his time was fast. It's going to be up there with some of the other guys. One of the shots, I guess, or Jason's just checking out what he did, the damage. Good run, Jason. Efficient. See, BJ's up next. BJ's going to come in here with his PCC, and he's going to tear it up. This is BJ right here. Another good shooter. Executes really, really well. You'll enjoy his shooting, that's for sure. All right, let's see here. Again, we got BJ going here with his pistol carbine. Guys, if you're watching, if you don't mind, please subscribe. Good shooting right there. Good shooting. BJ is a good shooter. Plans the stages out really well. Executes them the way he plans them out. That's a big thing. We all get up there and kind of have a game plan, and it goes out the window pretty quick. Not BJ's. His planning is usually carried out the way he wants it to be. Smooth, consistent. As you saw, he shoots on the run, or on the walk, I should say, in this case. Constantly steady moving down range. Not so fast that it disturbs his aim, but moves enough. Very smart shooter right there. BJ's a good shooter. Good run. Hey, Jay Griff, I have never watched Three Gun live before. This is actually pistol portion of what you would normally think of when you see Three Gun. These guys are all shooting just one gun in this particular. Or IPSC, which is the worldwide organization, USPSA being the United States branch of the IPSC worldwide organization. A lot of the same guys that you see shooting Three Gun will run, so we can get this stage here going, because these guys are going to be shooting on this stage. We're going to make it a little fun here. I'm going to get to where you're going to really be, and everybody, well, definitely add us. I would tell you the best people to complain to about that would be Sprint, since they're giving me such a crappy signal to send out from over here. We're doing all we can. We've actually got the signal dumbed down so much that I'm surprised it's not in big square pixels. We're shooting the poorest quality that we can right now because the signal out here is so bad. On my phone, I'm showing Sprint LTE of 2 bars out of 5, not even in HD right now. So my apologies for that signal that's being sent from this area. The good thing is we do have control to run this from next time. Again, this signal is pretty bad out here today. Very weak, very weak. I would be afraid to make a 911 call at this point. Thanks, John. I didn't take that as a complaint. I just wanted anybody to know, John, and I appreciate you just kind of messed up, and I appreciate you giving me the feedback. Yeah, you know, it's like being everything else. You're at the mercy of whatever you're using. Like these guys are at the mercy of the pistols that they're using and the guns they're using today. We're kind of at the mercy of the crappy signal going up. I really wish we could send you guys a better signal right now, but again, I'm not sure how the quality. You know, hopefully we can improve on that going forward. Maybe they'll put a cell tower somewhere closer and we can actually be able to put out a better signal to you guys. Again, friends, this is the Southeast Texas Practical Shooting Association's annual club championship match out here. I don't see it. Really pretty sky out here. Hot. Probably upper 80s, low 90s right now with pretty high humidity. A lot of good shooters out here. Type triggers are allowed in PCC?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
Had somebody ask, and I knew that the class was pretty wide open as far as what was allowed.
It is pretty wide open, but I don't know anything on those. I know everything is supposed to be semi-auto, and I know that's considered semi-auto, but I'm not sure on the exact wording that they have, if there's anything against it.
I got you. Looks like Richard is our next shooter. Again, Richard shooting an STI open gun, 38 Super. Richard is a very proficient shooter, good shooter here in his accuracy. Very solid in planning his stages. Of course, aren't we all? We're all solid at planning. It's a matter of executing that plan. Richard's been pretty good at that. I'm excited to get this one started. I think the camera angles that we have here for you right now is going to make this stage a lot of fun to watch, because you're going to have a shooter that's going to be where this gentleman is right here. They'll be coming around this corner. They'll start right over here where these gentlemen are. They'll come around over here. Then they'll make their way right here where this gentleman here is, where they're going to actually, and if you'll notice, it's hard to see, but right down here in the center of your screen, you see these 2 barrels on the ground side by side. There are 2 targets lying right next to them that are lying almost flat on the ground. So you have to run up this little alley right here where you're laying down. So this makes you go to some of these, makes you do some things that you normally probably wouldn't do. It's or you wouldn't go to those areas. You'd take a long shot. In this case, you can't take that long shot. You have to go up there and engage those targets from in front of the blue barrels, because they are directly behind the blue barrels. And of course, you see you have cover on both sides. So you can't go around there. Yeah, Richard is our first shooter. Richard Pursuti, again, guys, this is the guy, he's the treasurer of the Orange Gun Club, also the owner of Gator Guns. Here he comes. Let's see what we got over here. Nailing the steel.
No, man, we do not. Thank you.
Said I was short. Did he put me third?
Yeah, nice run right there. Nice run. Good shooting there, Richard.
By 12 and it's 11.
Yeah, if you don't have kids, you don't have.
Slow and steady. Slow and steady. See on these targets over here, he's got on his left target, he has looks like 2 Charlies, 2 C shots, and just to the right of that, no shoes, got 2 A zone shots. Overall, Richards tends to be a pretty accurate shooter. Very smooth. A-class shooter right there. All right, they're going to get the stage back ready for our next shooter. All right, get that stage back to normal.
Bruce, you want a shooter? Jason is on deck. Rain's in the hole. I'm still in the hole. Sorry.
Well, better than being in a deep hole, I guess.
It's about getting the stage back set for the next shoot. All right, we're going hot again. Sound like a freaking explosion. Somebody's shooting something. How far his ejected brass goes. Watch how far his brass goes. I bet that brass 15 feet away from where his shots are. Nice little gun. That's the same pistol I shoot. Really happy with it. Guys, our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube page. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and hope to be able to do more of this with you. Hopefully we get a better signal next time, where we can bring you some more quality.
Actually, I'm doing pretty good today. I'm not so wound up.
A shot over here, maybe.
Oh, I seen you grabbed the mag and you dropped it. I said something was wrong with that. Jason Robbins, you got a shooter. I gave you one there.
All right. Got another group of guys. Must have just finished up on the last stage, showing up. New group of shooters. As soon as we finish up with the group you're watching now, we'll get started on our next group. That will be our third group of the day. Got 40-something shooters out here today. I think I heard 47.
Watching your live stream. How's it work?
So far. Drops out every now and then, but it's not a good signal going
What
up.
software are you using?
Mevo live stream. It's a new camera device they've got out.
What's the what's
This one is probably about 2. It's terrible. We got it dumbed down this time because the signal's so bad. Yeah, you're right, John. 47 shooter's not bad. I think that guy before is perhaps hitting a sprint cell tower. That would explain the bad signal. Yeah, he was sending his brass sky high. That was a good run right there by Jason. Jason is a really good shooter. Very consistent, plans it. He's another one of those that plans out his stage really well and executes it just as good. So expect some good numbers from Jason. Jason will be up at the top, at least in the top 2 or 3. See, we've got our steel back over here. A lot of these guys have been pretty consistent hitting that steel, but for the most part, you know, giving them one shot. They're all in a line there, but they are at different distances, so that does make it somewhat of a difficult shot. We got Wayne up next, Wayne Guidry. Wayne is probably our senior shooter out here. We joke about it. He's been in this club for well longer before I've got here. But Wayne is still out here competing, and all right, time for Wayne to get rolling.
Can you text me the length of that?
Yep.
That's me.
Should be it.
Thanks.
Yep. Wayne is having a good time. Because, again, Wayne's a good example of close to being mummified. And, of course, I'm joking here. Being able to still come out here and compete with these younger guys that are flying all around, have fun, and you know, still have a good time. Definitely a great sport for you to be able to age gracefully with your friends and fellow shooters. Oh, I got some Gatorade. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Water? Man, I just had one.
All right, they're done setting this stage up. Time for the next shooter.
I'm accepting.
Our next shooter's on deck. Ready position is against your hip. Stop.
It'll stay on there while it throws out.
Coming around. Where he's got two. He's gonna have to get down low. There you go.
A 6-inch barrel. Yeah, I had that guy, Benny Hill.
Thanks you guys for joining us. Streaming you the Southeast Texas Practical Shooters. Shooters are competing for prizes. All right, guys. Ready for our next of the shooters here. I can't hear them from the scorekeeper. Let you guys know who's up next. Plus, it would be nice to be able to hear the times over here also. I cannot hear the time. If you remember, this guy's equipment runs very efficiently. This other stage to the left over here, you ran it a little. Come around.
Alright, it is dead.
I know they're fucking universal platform for everything.
Yeah, I started shooting this. I tried to go back to others. This is the factory fair, I think this one has the night sight, so I came in like.
Getting it set back up. Alright. Up. This is Practical Shooting Association's annual club championship here in Orange, Texas. We don't have much control over that. We've dumbed down our signal enough to where the cell phone cut up from us. Again, our apologies for that. If we had more control over that, we would certainly try to improve on that. Thank you guys for watching. We probably have, I believe, 2 more groups of guys to come through here. This is our second group of guys that's just about to wrap. And I keep getting a reminder from the app that says slow internet. And I'm like, really? Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate the heads up on that. I'm going to get right on that. Oh, God. Again, you can see these beautiful blue skies with a couple of little white clouds sprinkled throughout it. We had a decent chance of rain today, and there's no sign of it at this particular point in time. Another carry optics class shooter.
Yeah, for competition, great gun, $1,000.
Oh, man.
Me personally, I only shoot out here when I carry I shoot my carry guns all the time.
Bad. Nice run by this gentleman.
I shot steel challenge match with the HK230 SK.
I've got a carry optics gun, a SIG P320. I guess it's that X version. I know I'm going to screw the name up, so I'm not even going to try. I think it's. I'm going to snatch it up at the tax-free weekend in a few weeks, and I'm excited to shoot it. You know, and I'm not sure. There's a very good chance I may try my luck at the carry optics class once I get my hands on that SIG P320X with that RMR sight on top of it, just to see. You know, looks like a fun class to shoot. Is that. Again, the limited series that I've been shooting in, I really enjoy it because it's probably one of the purest form, other than if you go straight back to production or single stack. But I like the fact that you're using your iron sights. I mean, that's going to be something that anybody out there that carries or uses a handgun for home defense, to me, it's going to give you better practice in a somewhat stressful situation out here. Again, as close as you're ever going to get to something in real life that might go wrong, so you're not much out here that you're used to it. That's why I like those classes that have some of the old school iron sights on. In the event you do have a stressful situation, then you have to tend to it. with your self-defense or home defense pistol. Reasons that you want to carry a different type of gun and get proficient with it.
I got mine back. Please.
Well, right now,
We brought her. She's got an extra 9.
Those targets are laying on the on that steel. Seem to do. I see 2 A-zone shots. I see an ace. He's got it going on as far as his accuracy goes, and like I said, he was pretty efficient with that too. Get the viewers. Hopefully, our signal dumbed down as low as we can go at this point, and hopefully, you guys aren't experiencing it quite so out here out of 5. I think that's a little unlikely. I don't feel like we're getting LTE at all. They pick these targets up behind the blue barrels now. Those guys were laying on the ground in these holders by about a 30-degree angle, and they were sitting flat on the ground. So you just may have to get a little bit further. I don't think that would have affected that last shooter with them laying on the ground as opposed to being slightly propped up.
It kind of depends on whether I can.
Pistol carbine looks like an MCX, SIG MCX, 9mm. Let's see what James has there.
not concede the inside on the outer.
You're doing a quick shift over and you're getting on that one target real quick. And your accuracy is going to suffer no matter what. Put it up in a 3 arrays, okay?
Fast shooting there.
Look at the disadvantage versus advantage.
So that makes sense because the you can set it up in the 2 arrays. Everything in the middle and then the 2 outside.
Is that this is definitely giving them practice on going through walls or around wall obstacles. If you happen to have an AR-15 that you use for your home, to how to maneuver and manipulate that muzzle to get around those obstacles without it being an issue. There are definitely some strengths as far as competing in the USPSA various classes, rifle, whatever it is. I think we are done with this stage. Looks like our next group of guys is up. Yeah, we are. Let me move my camera again. Let's get ready for these guys here on this range, this stage.
So you got the mags, you got that thing ammo. Okay, and you got a bill. You're good. You're good. That's all you need.
All right, guys.
The main bay. Yeah, so the gym, yeah, let them know you're going to catch up. And tell them I will.
All right, from the blue hat is Dave Campbell. Very solid shooter.
Shoot third. Just go in, hand your score, say, hey, I'm shooting. Yeah, we got 3, 4, we got 4 scores.
That one's going to be interesting just because you don't have to move a lot, but how much do you move?
That's what I said. Even though it's limited, I'm doing what they call limited.
Yeah.
Hey guys, here's the shooting order.
That's it.
Rob, Chester, Shane, Lee,
Yeah.
Garrett,
Move.
Caleb, Jonathan, Cody, Ryan.
Yeah.
As well, Steve. Chester's.
I'm 19, I believe.
Slide you in the middle. Let's do it first.
What's that?
You score first?
I'll run it.
Okay. change timers?
Notice these guys are counting their shots, trying to plan where they're going to make that reload. Working on their plan. Alright guys, looks like we're getting close. This new batch of guys running here. Thing keeps crapping out on me, so I'm gonna have to keep up with it. I already put my gun up.
Who's up first? Hey, let's go. Let's go. All right. Where's the timer? Going hot.
Rod Stars, the shooter!
Hey, go. Who's the hole? Shooter ready. Stand by.
Is this channel on full 30? And if not, it should be. We are not on full 30. A year ago, asking them how you become one of the video providers, because we we kind of felt like we fit in and never heard back from them, so didn't feel like they were too interested in having us. Maybe we'll give it a shot again, but nothing against those guys, of course. Just they didn't respond to us. So As you can see, he still gets around. Reload. All right, guys. Chester is another one of those guys that is a good example of someone who has lost a little bit of mobility, but still can get out here and compete with everybody. To know that when I get a little bit older and get less mobile, that I'm still going to be able to come out here and compete with some of these fellas. Again, guys, we are at the Texas Practical Shooting Association's annual club match in Orange, Texas, at the Orange Gun Club. Beautiful club. If you guys haven't been out to the Orange Gun Club, you ought to check it out. Really nice facility. Really, really nice.
You and Marty both. Like, you got Marty out here for a minute. He kills bugs.
Exactly. A lot of fun. Again, it's nice to be able to compete. You know, we all have a competitive nature to us, even as we get a little bit older. You know, naturally, we're not going to be able to go out there and, you know, go to toe with somebody on a basketball court or a football field or something like that. But we've definitely not lost our competitive edge, no matter how old we get. We're guys, for God's sake. So it's nice to be able to come out here and have a little fun and shoot these matches with these guys and still remain somewhat competitive and have fun and be able to compete and know that you're actually getting in some exercise at the same time, not to mention the fact that you're getting more comfortable with your firearm, which is going to make you safer, more proficient, and a better protector of your family and yourself and your own personal safety. Here you go, an open gun here. Good shooter.
I called it, and my finger didn't squeeze the trigger. That was the Delta. Yeah, they put out a first people to get a phone with that thing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What happens off of it, like you cut off there, you want to give anybody else an opportunity, and they're going to continue to copy all of it every time possible. Because you're swiping. Like every
Video will also be after.
He's in the hole.
Back. There is one warning shooting PSA. So get out here on a Alright guys, my sincerest apologies for continuously dropping the signal out here. We just have a really bad signal, cell phone signal in Orange, Texas. I am not sure who is responsible for the quality of cell phone signal out here in Orange, Texas, but they have failed miserably. If you have Sprint in this area, it's got to be brutal on you. We actually have dumbed our signal down. There are 4 settings when you stream this. There's HD, there's 720p HD, then there's medium, and then there is low. We are on low, the lowest possible quality to upload this video to you guys, and this is what we get. Still dropping signal and all that. That's probably the 10th or so time we've dropped it. Of course, we have been streaming for 2.5 hours, so it's a little bit brutal whenever you're having to watch this and continuously go through that. Guys, I really appreciate you all toughing it out with us. Thank you so much for being here. As I've said before, we are at the Southeast Texas Troubleshooting Association's annual club championship match. This is a division of USPSA, which is a division of the international body of IPSC. We are in Orange, Texas at the Orange Gun Club. If you're watching this at this very moment, and it is 10, where'd I get that from? It is 12:36 p.m. Central Standard Time and you're watching this. You are watching it live. I say that because it will be shown, recorded later on and available. Here's our next shooter.
Right by it. 4279.
Freedom?
Yeah, I've been shooting Freedom.
Oh, yeah.
It happened twice.
How's the field been working?
I think it's going to work just fine. It worked last time I saw it. And then I think after this one,
So we've got our next group of shooters showing up. They will be here shooting at the stage to our left here in a second.
two mags. I mean,
Next shooter's up.
For shits and giggles, because what is it? One camp? You can have that gun.
See which way Chester goes here.
Take the position out of it.
All right.
I'm trying to listen to y'all. I have no idea how to tackle it. Come back here. Clean run.
Hang on. All A's and all steel.